What episode is this? 29? Episode 29, Transferable Experience Podcast. It's your boy Jew. I'm here with my boy Ed. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
It's been a little while, man.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't really been a little while.
It felt like it's been like months since we recorded.
Yeah.
It's really been like a week.
When you're really consistent with doing something, when you don't do it, it do be like a little, it feels like a big gap.
Yeah.
Because when I was getting set up, I was getting the place set up to that. Like, dang, I ain't even pulled this box out in a minute.
It felt like so long.
It was in a different spot.
It felt like such a long time.
Yeah, man. Funny enough, that was that the song we just played was that Big Chris song. You know, he had just put his mixtape on Apple Music, and I don't know. It had me thinking because it happened last Friday or last week or whatever, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, I like the wave of them putting those mixtapes on the streaming services, but with the clearance issues, some of them songs don't sound the same.
Yeah,
because and I was thinking to myself, it's crazy how much I needed a bass line or some little whatever element that was in the song. Like, dang, I really liked that, and I didn't know it until it was gone. You know,
that's like because I'm not just crazy over Wiz Khalifa like that, but I like his older stuff. Cause that's when when he first bust on the scene. Yeah, and I got in like a Wiz Khalifa bag one day, and I was like, I forgot, man, phone numbers was hard.
That was hard.
But on Apple Music, they couldn't get that whatever sample they used. They couldn't get it cleared or whatever, so they got a different beat on it. So it's so weird.
It's like a totally different song.
Yeah, because that beat was kind of what that's kind of what made the song.
That's what drove it.
Yeah,
that's what drove it. That's what drove it.
That's not on there. It's completely different now. I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, that was just something I thought about. That was just totally off topic. But how you been, man? It's been a couple of days since we last sat down. Well, at this table, I've seen you, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I kind of want to apologize because we do kind of pride ourselves on being consistent, but we had a birthday celebration weekend and we thought we was going to sneak one in, and it was.
Well, it was one of those things where like most things that happen in our lives, me and Ed are usually able to plan around it. But this time, because we were going somewhere, we were going to the function. This time around, it was brought to us, so we were kind of playing the host. Yeah, we were kind of hosting most of the stuff. So we apologize to the fans and the listeners out there.
It was really no workaround.
Yeah, no, it wasn't no wiggle room at all.
Yeah, it wasn't at all.
It was none at all. So and dang, I mean, we've only missed what, 2.
Yeah, I think just 2 so far.
Just 2, man. And what, we are 29 episodes in?
Yep.
29?
So 29 out of 31 weeks.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's all right,
It's not too
I can live with that.
Yeah, too.
So appreciate y'all as always. Do all the things on all the things.
All the things on all the things.
Man, come on, man. You back here with us. We so happy to be back with you. What I wanted to... so let me tell you what's been going on with me. So... I'm in my new position. Most of y'all know. If you don't know, I got promoted recently, and I have been getting adjusted into this new supervisory role. And I forgot how, like, when you're in that role, there's a lot of things that like that you got to pay attention to because like people are looking at you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like if you make a decision one way, it's hard to go back and make another decision because they're gonna be like, "Well, dang, you did this first, then now you're doing this." Yeah. So I've been very self-aware in this last. Dang, has it been a month? Almost coming up on a month.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, about a month. So like this last month, more specifically, these last 2 weeks, I've been very self-aware of myself. Like, what am I saying? What am I trying to? Not impress, but what am I trying to teach somebody? What am I trying to convey to somebody with with what I'm saying? Yeah. Not only about the word, but not only about the job and the work itself, but the personality of me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you Julie as the supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very self-aware with that. And it's only such a thing. It's only such a important thing. It's probably at the forefront of my mind because we have 2 new hires.
Mm-hmm.
One that's been there a little longer than the last one, but we got one that like just was hired while I was the supervisor, so he don't know an old way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy. I am the way. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't try to sound conceited, but I am the way. Like, because the other dude, I ain't gonna say the names. The other dude, he was there at like the tail end of the last supervisor, so he remember when it was somebody else, but not quite.
Yeah.
And then we got 2 more guys that was there with me, and like our relationship is different than me and the 2 new hires.
Mm-hmm.
Like they call me like every day. You know what I'm saying? The older guys, they just don't say nothing to me at all. You know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this because with the newest guy, I'm setting the parameters for which he's going to have to work under. Like,
yeah.
And that's a lot of power. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot to have in somebody's hand. And I don't want to mismanage it.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, I don't want him to be a bad employee.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny, man. And this is crazy. It's funny because I don't want him to be a bad employee, even though he could be a bad employee on his own, like through his own will.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to give him the tools to be a bad employee. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm just being so aware, like everything I'm saying, like tone and verbiage and like when, like, cause okay, so I'm off on the weekends, and some of them call me, and he tried to call me, and a couple of weeks ago, I would answer on a Saturday, but this Saturday I was like, well, he's been here for about 2 weeks, I ain't gonna answer the phone, just to see if he could come up with the answer on his own. Which sounds very manipulative, but like you got to do that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And it's turning out good, man. But that's kind of what I've been going through these last couple of weeks, and it's just been funny because I come home and I think to myself, how was the day? And I go over to my conversations I had, and it's turned out to be pretty good, and it's making me be more responsible for the things I do, and that's it. So that's been like my last week or so. What about you, man? I'm sorry.
Man, I can't remember back 2 weeks, so I gotta just go to the last week that I had. Man, it's just been a social, a lot of social events.
Okay,
I got lit of it, these past month or so, and
yeah, we had a lot.
Yeah, it's just been a lot back and forth, and it's different than my normal pace.
Yeah,
that I have, and then too, like because we've been doing so much, it's people that I kind of normally see in my calm life that I, just friends that I hadn't been able to catch up with. So I caught up with them this week, and I don't know. It was just it wasn't my traditional routine week because. I didn't eat healthy the entire week. I just kind of ate whatever, and I was like, "Bro, this is this is how people live."
Some people live like that. Me,
they just eat whatever. I was like, "This is kind of cool, but nah."
But you know the consequences.
Yeah, it's kind of expensive, and man, because I'm not used to this. I make my little meal. And
like when I called you when you called me the other day, you said you was going out to eat. I said.
Yeah, I said, on a weekday.
Yeah, I said on a weekday?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shoot.
It was interesting. I ate out the entire week, and it was like, people just live like this. This is like some people regular life. It's like, it's kind of cool, but nah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And then, too, it was like I said, I just had so many social obligations, too. I worked out, I think just Monday. Maybe Tuesday, maybe Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
So I didn't even really work out this week.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to my routine this week and kind of getting back to me, and kind of been off balance too, man. Cause my car got hit And I was in a rental car for a while. So that's why I say it was like I was in a very...
You
just stuff wasn't my usual.
Yeah.
Stuff just wasn't my usual, man.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad or anything. It just wasn't my usual.
Wasn't nothing set in like everything was like
everything was a little different. You know?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad or anything, but I just
I tell you what. We was coming off of my brother's birthday weekend. Shout out to Booda. Did we say happy birthday to Booda last time? Last episode?
Probably not, because that would have been a little ahead of time.
Well, happy birthday, Booda. We hope you enjoyed your weekend. That Monday after everybody left, boy, I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was exhausted mentally, physically, financially.
Yeah, I was all three as well. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I started some new show, so I just watched it, and I worked out though, and then I went and made groceries for the week. Mm-hmm. But that was it.
One of these days, we're gonna talk about the importance of taking that day off after the trip.
Yeah,
most people try to take that day off the day before the trip for the travel.
Yeah,
but you gotta get on that back end off day.
You need that.
That back.
That's kind of why you need to recover from the fun.
Yeah,
recover from the vacation.
That's how I know I'm getting older.
Yeah, that day is important. I'm like that now too.
I probably started the back end off day probably like maybe 2-3 years ago. No, maybe like 2 years ago. It's fairly recent.
It's pretty recent for me because
probably like 2 years ago. And I was just like, man. I'm to the point now that I would like never not take the back end off day, like the post vacation off day.
Yeah, I have a concert planned for Sunday that is on a Sunday, and I took that Monday off.
Yeah.
Like
I just know I need that.
Yeah. That's to my point. This is gonna be a long day Sunday. Don't count me in Monday. I need that to kind of just recover.
Yeah. But, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else? Because I was about to say what that brought me to.
Okay, what did it bring you?
Oh man, no, I was just saying that. So my brother came up here. He visited us, and a couple of our friends from back home. We did a lot of little events. There was a lot of moving around, going places, and you got people we had people with us. You had people at your crib, people at my crib. And it just made me think, because there were some times in the weekend I was like, dang, I really don't even, I would be okay if we didn't go. I'll just say that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not to say that I was not trying to have fun with my people, because I always am.
Yeah.
But I know me. And then I always, for something in me felt the need to go, which made me think about the obligation I had to my brother, because it was his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we kind of talked about this, so I just wanted to bring this subject to the table and ask you, how do you deal with obligations to people? Or do you even feel like you have an obligation to people? Is that something you even do?
Yeah. Well, that's
Go ahead.
A lot of layers to that. Do I feel obligated to people? It just depends. And when you say obligated, there's different ways you can be obligated to someone.
Exactly.
Because if you ask me, do I feel financially obligated to many people?
No.
Because one, I'm not a millionaire, and two, the bulk of who kind of looked out for me in that sense was my family. Uh-huh. So I mean, if they needed something, but they don't, so not like that. Like. Everyone is
take care of,
Like I'm not.
Everybody can take care of themselves.
Like I'm saying, I'm just not
rolling in
a millionaire
to
just where I have to support people like that or feel obligated. So we're kind of like on the same playing field as far as that goes financially. So
right.
I don't feel obligated like that. And then I don't know, because when you start thinking about it in ways you can feel obligated, like you can feel physically obligated to, like when I say physically, I mean like. If I see someone that I know doing something.
Okay, doing something.
Like, say, I'll give you an example. I was at my friend's house yesterday.
Okay.
And he had got some stuff from Home Depot because they were doing some stuff in their house. So he had like a lot of whatever he had in his vehicle. And when I noticed that he was doing it, I instantly got out of my car and helped. Like,
Okay.
If I see anyone doing anything physical around me, like even if I'm just a guest or something,
somebody bringing groceries in or something. Yeah.
And I'm a guest, or it doesn't matter. I'm gonna go help and say, hey, do you need help? Like I feel obligated to physically help people when I see that they're doing something physical. Okay. Now, if you were just to tell me, hey, go get the stuff, I would ask, well, aren't you? Yeah. But I feel obligated to help people when I see them physically doing something if I'm around. Okay. Or at least offer. Okay.
So is that your way of showing your obligation to others, just like physical help?
That's the other. So when it comes to physical help, I do feel obligated. But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of just ingrained in me. Like if you see someone doing something, help them. Like
yeah. I think you might just be a good person.
Yeah, because I was like, because when you get into obligation, I don't look up obligation, the word for me, because like I say, that might just be like common courtesy, manners, you know.
Yeah, if I say that sound like manners.
Yeah, it may not necessarily feel like obligate. And then because granted, I'm not going to go to a stranger if they're in their car with groceries and say, you know, because that might come off the wrong way. But if I was to see someone struggling, that even if I didn't know, I was like, hey, you need some help. You look like you.
Yeah, you sound like you're struggling. So obligation, it says an act or course of action to which a person is morally or legally bound. It could be a duty or a commitment.
Well, see, when you break it down like that morally, you know, because
yeah.
I feel I want to help, you know. When I see someone in need of help.
Yeah. I don't know. The obligation, I don't know, like say take my brother birthday weekend. Say he wanted to go do something, but I didn't necessarily want to go do it. But I would go with him because I feel obligated to go with my brother because I can't leave my brother by himself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That kind of obligation would I be like, I guess is what I'm like thinking about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm sorry. That's what I'm thinking about. That's my version of it. I should say that. And that's an easy one, right? Because that's family. Yeah. Family, the obligation is a no-brainer. Like how it says morally bound. Yeah. I'm morally bound to my brother because I hold family in a high moral regard.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? So family is up there. So it would be a no-brainer for me to be morally bound to my brother because that's my brother and family, blah, blah, blah. I think it gets interesting when we start talking about like situations or like friendships and things like that. Yeah. Because it's hard to distinguish which friends you feel like you can be obligated to or which friends you just kind of got right there. And then maybe you got associates. You know what I mean? Like,
and what makes you feel obligated is
that's
Is it because they do something for you? Is it because you known them for X amount of time?
Yeah. Did y'all go through a traumatic experience together?
Yeah. Like what makes you feel like I say that they help you get through? Like what makes you feel obligated to people?
Right. I think for me, if we go through something together and we both make it out that situation, or well, I ain't gonna say when we both make it out the situation, good or bad, I kind of feel a little obligation to them because like I've seen them struggle, they seen me struggle, they may have given me a hand, I may have given them a hand.
I think sometimes too, I feel obligated when people do stuff for me out the kindness of their heart. Yeah, and they like it. It doesn't benefit them at all. It's like they get no gain out of it. They're literally just doing it to help help. Like I just want to help. Okay. Like I feel obligated to those. Like I've had, for example, when I was it was one summer I was back home, couldn't find a job, and one of my church members worked at Delta Downs, and he was kind of help. He just said, I think I can help you get a job there and just help. Like
he just helped you. Yeah,
he got nothing out of that. I wasn't in his department. Yeah. He just helped me, and like I always remembered that. And I was like, man, if he ever need anything or something, like because that was he got nothing out of it, but he really looked out for me. And like it may have been small to him, you know, because it was just like a little whatever job, but that really like kind of changed the course of my year because I was able to like save up money and have money going into the following year of college. So that just helped me breathe easier.
Right.
Or like I had someone else kind of help me get a job where what I do now, someone just said, "Hey, we're hiring." I had never even heard of that like industry that I'm in now. So like, I feel because because like I said, it was at the kindness of his heart. He didn't have to tell me. He shouldn't even been thinking because it was like my friend's dad. So you know he didn't even have to be thinking about me. Like
he didn't have to look at you like that.
So be like, man, I want to like for me to even come into his mind to think about that. Like he literally changed the course of my life. For that, I'm thankful because he did that out the kindness of his heart. So I feel if he ever was to need something or anything I could do, I'd like to do that for him to show my appreciation.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to reciprocate the kindness that he showed you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said,
I was asking.
Yeah. Because man, that was great. So like, I think those type of people are people I feel obligated for.
Okay.
Like I feel obligated to, but then it's like, if I ask you to do something and then you say, but what are you going to do for me? Or what I get out of it?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
You know what's crazy? That's okay to ask.
It is, but I don't feel obligated to you. At that point, it's just transactional.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
There's no obligation. It's just, okay.
Yep.
It will shoot. That's like if you, back in the day, if you needed to get a ride somewhere and it was like, you got some gas money.
Yeah.
You don't feel obligated after that. It's transactional. You gave him money so you can get what you needed to do. So it's
Dave, because you gave me a lot of eyes back then that you didn't have to give me in high school. I don't know if that's because you feel obligated to me or whatever, but I always remember that. You know what I mean? That's one of those things for me. Like I could never charge you gas money to go nowhere. For nothing. If anything, I owe you a lot of gas money still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's funny that you bring that up. And that was actually a very good example because, you know, leading up to this episode, I was kind of like asking some people, having some conversations. Had a conversation with my significant other, and she was telling me, we was talking about like obligations to people. And I asked her, I said, so what about your little cousin? You feel like you obligated to them? Excuse me. And she was like, yeah, because I helped raise them. Like I know they mama. But I was like, but why? But like, why do you feel obligated to your little cousin? You know what I'm saying? Like they ain't really do nothing for you.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, that's just family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, I helped take care. Like I brought her to like practices and I was there with her mom. We at the doctor's appointment. So I was like, okay, so there was some investment. So you invested like time, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that, and I know for some people time is not a factor, but for some people it is. You know what I mean? I know some people that would be like, I mean, you've told me like, so I ain't got to like that dude because I knew him 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to be friends with nobody because we went to the same high school. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. But I know for some people that's a big factor for them. You know what I mean? And I think it's interesting when you have these conversations because you begin to see how people build those bridges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dang, I rock with this person because of this way, of this and that. You know what I mean?
But yeah, because time is just... you can know someone and they have zero impact on your life. And I just feel obligated because
if I
just know you, like I don't feel obligated to someone just because I know, like,
okay,
I'm okay, not obligated. See, the important thing to fixate on is obligation.
That means like, yeah,
I might just help someone just out the kindness of my heart because I'm a nice guy. But
okay. But
obligated, that's a like you said, that's a sense of duty. Like,
yeah.
I don't feel a sense of duty.
Okay. Help me answer this because I'm trying to figure it out. An obligation can be, it's an obligation when you feel like if you don't do this, what? Like if you didn't help your friend with the stuff out of his car, how would you feel?
But see, I don't think an obligation comes with what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a repercussion?
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't.
Okay. Like a consequence?
No. I might say an obligation doesn't come with a consequence because at that point that's something else. If there's a consequence, if you don't
break that
obliged
down.
to being obligated to someone.
I'm listening. Because that's an interesting point.
Give it to me again. What did you say? No, what was the word we came up with? Consequence.
Consequence.
Yeah, so I don't.
You said if it has a consequence, it's probably not an obligation.
No, that almost seemed like a threat. Maybe like, are you gonna do this or else? Or you not gonna do that? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I guess I didn't think of it like that
because that almost feels like more of a threat than an obligation if it's a consequence.
Okay,
if I don't help you or don't do what you asked me to do.
Okay. I was actually like,
or maybe I'm thinking of it wrong.
No, you thinking of it right. Cause I think the way you're saying like if somebody asks you for something, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying if you just see something that need to be done, like you just said, like help him do with the stuff out the car.
Yeah.
If you did not help him at all because he didn't ask you, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't do it.
Yeah.
How would you have felt? Like, oh man, I just watched my friend struggle with all that stuff, or that would make you feel bad or something?
I think, like if someone like, I think that there's context too. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's true.
But if I seen someone like struggle like with a bunch of stuff and then they dropped it, I'll be like, oh man, I could have helped.
Here's an example. We both been to college. You were a little bit more deserted than I was. I had a couple people from our hometown that went to my college, UNT. Mm-hmm. Say me and them was at a party. This is a perfect example too. I ain't gonna say the young lady's name, but you know it. Say me and her was at a party. I'm with my little group of friends. She with her little group of friends, right? Mm-hmm. It's a party, so everybody turned up. Mm-hmm. You know, towards the end of the party, or maybe I don't know, at the end of the party, I can like look over there, check on her little group. The fact that I even check is funny, but if I see that she's like very visibly drunk, like out of there, but she's with her friends, I feel Julius, I feel obligated to go check on her.
Yeah.
Now she with her own group of friends, and I'm with my own group of friends. They can very well probably go help her, or not. You know what I'm saying? But because me and her are from the same town, I would go holler. I would go at least say, "Hey, you good? You got a way home?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this is why I was saying. This is why it's funny you said consequence, because I feel like I got the obligation to do that, because if I don't at least try to help and something bad happen, that would mess with me.
Yeah, it would kind of weigh on your conscience.
I think that drive a lot of my obligations personally.
Okay.
Because
the fact that it weigh on you if you did.
Yeah. That's what I mean by that.
Okay, that makes more sense.
That's what I was saying when I said like if you didn't do it, then this.
Yeah.
So if I didn't help her at the party, whatever, she ended up getting into a fight, or maybe she lose.
I get what you're saying now.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like,
you know, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Because if you know someone, you just feel obligated to.
Yeah, that might just be good manners too, like you said. But like,
because that kind of go into how I feel about telling the truth, or being truthful with people. I feel obligated to tell people the truth, because if I don't,
hey, this is deep. I like this.
Because if I don't, I feel like
you cheating them.
Yeah, or if something turned out a certain way, I'm like, dang, if I would have just said something, they may not have took the advice, but
that's true.
Me not saying something, now that way on me, because I could have been like, nah, man, you don't need to do. Or you could have. It could have been anything. Like maybe someone drank too much. I should have been like, hey, man, I think you a little too drunk. You just stop. Yeah. Let somebody else drive. But instead, I said, oh well, he grown. Yeah. And then it weigh on me. So I do feel. I think that's probably one of the biggest obligations. I feel personally is to tell the truth.
Dang, see, that's crazy that you even...
And to be honest with people, because it feel like...
See,
and then after that, when people make their decision, I'm at peace, but I got to at least say something, because if I don't, it'll just weigh on me. Dang. And does that come out as me being a jerk or whatever sometimes, or it could be perceived, but I just feel like I have to, because if I don't, and then something go wrong... Or, I just like, well, I didn't say anything. And I knew, or I should, or I noticed something, and I wish I would have just said it.
Yep.
So I think that's like one of the biggest obligations I feel.
Well, see, I think that drives my obligations. It drives it. Because what you're saying, I totally agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have said something to make the outcome of this different. I feel like, dang, if something bad happened and I didn't at least offer help, I kind of feel bad. And I think that drives a lot, because I look at my obligations. Like, I feel like I'm obligated to my family for sure, our group of friends. And, we've been friends for a long time, and we've seen each other grow up. Mm-hmm. And some people have gotten farther in distance, some people have gotten closer in distance, as far as like relationship-wise, but there's people out there that I probably didn't talk to in a while, but I kind of still feel obligated to them because I know what they mean to me. I guess I know what they mean to me. Mm-hmm. I guess the obligation don't have to be two ways. Like, I can be obligated to you, Ed.
Sure.
And you don't got to feel obligated to me.
Yeah, that's true. You can't control that. So,
I can't make your obligation.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I think on a very intrinsic level, I think an obligation might be the agreement that you make with yourself about situations. Yeah. Like, you made an agreement with yourself to say, I need to tell people the truth. Mm-hmm. That's the agreement Ed made with Ed. Yeah. I made the agreement with myself to say I should offer help. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And funny enough, because you're making that agreement with yourself to say, when this situation happens, this is what I do. Yeah. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way with help too. I think my help is not as just my truth is way more broader than I think my help is kind of more centralized. So if you not just more so everybody, but like I say, physical help, like I say, I'll pitch in because I think it's a body to be a able-bodied person. So
yeah, that's true.
If I'm able-bodied, I want to be able to use my able body to make positivity. That's why I say I don't never mind helping. As long as I don't feel like I'm being taken advantage of or anything. But because you're not about to just say, "Hey, man, I'm building a fence. Be over here by 7 a.m." Like,
think about when all the times you've been asked to help somebody move or something. And
I helped somebody move today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't even talking about that, just in general. I've been asked, man, you can help me move? Yeah. And I say, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, number one, I'm an able-bodied person, and I'm still pretty young. Number two is that, man, I know how hard it is to get stuff moved because I've moved before. Like, it's a sucky process. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you don't really have much help.
Yeah, exactly. Just in that situation, I feel like that's what I do. Now, let me ask you this. What's the difference between obligation, being obligated to somebody, and just tolerating them? You think toleration is a factor of obligations? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Because when you said that, I instantly thought of the difference between wanting to do something and feeling obligated to.
Okay.
Because those are two different things.
All right.
I may want it. I'm helping you because I want to. I don't necessarily feel obligated to do it. I just want to help,
Yeah.
Compared to me feeling obligated. Like, if it's a stranger.
Okay.
It may just because I want to help. I don't feel obligated. I feel like for me, obligating is more of a stronger feeling. But you said obligation and what? Tolerance?
Yeah, tolerance.
I don't. Can you give me an example of how those correlate?
Yeah. So say we at the function, right? Mm-hmm. And people are there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're not even hosting and you just best friends with the host.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody come in.
Oh, it sound like this past weekend. And I tolerated it. No, that might have been an obligation because never mind. Go ahead.
No, that's you just said the situation I'm about to explain. I'm not even. I don't know what situation you talking about.
Okay.
I'm just. I'm just saying. No, I'm saying as an example. Like it's like, man, bro, don't kick Tony out the party, man. That's such and such. They went to blah 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 together, so you probably gonna tolerate him.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not obligated to be in the same room with him. You could leave, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that a difference
between being obligated and tolerating?
Yeah, because I don't know. I guess I asked that because if you obligate to somebody, you make an agreement to like help them. I ain't gonna say no matter what, but you're almost saying like
I might tolerate something out of obligation.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
An example, if we hanging out and it's for somebody's birthday, and some people I don't know show up empty handed, just thirsty, ready to have a good time, and they completely empty handed.
Yeah.
And I would naturally just leave because I'm not about to be around people that just showed up empty handed that I know don't just be around like that because I be around. Okay. I might stay out of obligation
to the person that's throwing the party
because somebody else and tolerate something else that I may not like. So I think you can tolerate something out of obligation. I think we
found it. We found it.
Yeah,
because I feel like they could exist together in certain situations.
Yeah, you can definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
I tolerate some stuff sometimes out of obligation.
I tolerate a lot of stuff out of obligation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think, but yeah, I don't think they are like a run period, like, or two different. I think you can.
Go ahead.
Yes, I don't think those are like on the opposite ends of the spectrum or anything, but I think obligation can come. You just tolerating something.
Yeah, I was saying I think that it was a subset of obligation.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
So
with
like,
that,
if obligation is the overall thing,
because you might love someone and no one's perfect, and it might be something that you don't necessarily be fond of, and you tolerate that out of obligation.
And I'm glad you said the word love, because this is the next question I was about to ask you. What are your factors for determining the obligation? Is it just love? Is it time? Is it actions? Combination of all three? Something else?
I think for me, obligations, I think one would definitely be love.
That's a big thing. Big word. That's a big word.
I think another obligation for me would be out of not time. I don't believe I'm just obligate stuff just off of time. I think, like I said, like people doing stuff out the kindness of their heart, like selflessness. That brings an obligation for me.
Selflessness.
Yeah, selflessness. So like just people doing stuff out the kindness of their heart and like wow, like. Dang, like, because that touch, because when something is transactional, it's just transactional. Like, like because sometimes the people will straight up say, "Oh yeah, I did that since you looked out for me here." I'm like, "Oh okay, it's transactional. There's nothing wrong with it. You paying your debts, that's fine too." But that's not like an obligation necessarily. It's just transactional,
Would you say okay? Go ahead, keep going.
But I would say that selflessness. Love, selflessness, and what else breeds obligation for me? I think that's the main two for me. And just kindness out of my heart would be the third. Like, because like I say, you may just be someone that needs help, and I might just help you. I might feel obligated to help you just out of the kindness of my heart. So I would say those are the things that mainly breed obligation out of me.
See, okay. For me, I will say time. And I say time because as much of a construct that it is, it does pass. You know, the sun goes up, the sun goes down. So I think through time, you learn to accept people. And you accept their actions. You can choose not to. But when you make the decision to accept them, saying, I take you for you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, through time, I learned, you know, this person's good at this, they're bad at that. That's all right. They're working on that. Well, yeah, I guess you could say if they're working on that.
So if they're not, it don't matter to you because of time?
No, I'm just saying, like, I maybe I seen them go through something, and I'm just like, man, bro, like, I feel, okay, maybe I feel for them. Maybe that's more sympathetic. Maybe I get a lot of sympathy. Maybe if I feel sympathy for you, it don't necessarily tie me to you, but I would be predisposed to probably feeling obligated to help you. That's what I would say. A good example for me, and a good example for me is football. Like 4 years, I played football 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
We went through off seasons together. We went through practices together. Like they got people that didn't even play a lot of football on the actual field that I just be like, man, like that's what's name. Like I'm gonna look out for them because like they saw me transform. I saw them transform. We struggled together. You know, we was on the same team. We both had a common goal that we shared that. I know it's been like 10 years since that. So I would probably feel a strong connection with them still. You know, so that's one.
So you feel obligated to them because you played on the same football team in high school?
Yeah.
What does obligation look like to you then?
If they need help, I'm going to help them.
Anyway?
Financially, like you said, no. Probably not, depending on the situation, but if they need help, yeah. If
you hadn't talked to someone in 10 years and all of a sudden they hit you up and say, hey, we played on the same football team. Can you help me do this? And it's pretty self-serving.
If I talk to them and it says the situation and it's self-serving, I may say no. If it's a genuine thing, I may say yes.
I can see if they're saying, hey, do you want to do something for the community? But I'm saying, hey, man, I hadn't talked to you in 10 years. We was on the same football team.
That's a wild, I mean,
Can you come help me do something?
That's a wild way to just bust that wedge, but hey, it's possible. But I'm not going to sit here and act like time isn't a factor for me because it is. Because, you know, I can't unsee some things. I can't unhear some things, for better or for worse. Number two definitely is love, but love has a lot of factors into it.
Mm-hmm. That's
another thing where it's just acceptance, man. It's just acceptance. Like once you know what somebody is and what they ain't, it kind of makes more palatable for their characteristics. And you're like, okay, that's just them. Now, lastly, I guess I would feel like a good way to measure an obligation for me is what happens if I say no. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ask me for something and I say no. Like you genuinely ask me something like Ed asked Julius for something, I say no, I'm gonna be like, I can't tell my boy Ed no, man. Like he mean too much to me. Mm-hmm. Because people mean things to me, I say that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's at the root of a lot of my obligations because people mean things. For different reasons. Reasons. So those are my factors for sure.
Okay.
You know, that's how I think I know when I'm obligated to somebody, when I ask myself, like, damn, if I say no, what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, if you went through a bad situation, Ed, whether you lost your job or you was homeless or whatever, or you, God forbid, anything else, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to put that into existence.
You good.
I'm like, even though people might be like, man, that boy Ed tripping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with him? Why y'all ain't helping him? Like, we are helping him. You know what I'm saying? But he got to do it on his own time. But I'm still going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Because I feel obligated to you, for better or for worse. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think that's a situation where it's really put to the test. And, you know, sometimes people go through things. They go through negative things. And
I would just say, I agree that life is unpredictable and life is be life and
it be life and it's life right now.
I think context is extremely important to me.
Yeah,
and I need to see, or are you trying to help yourself, or are you just asking for help? It's a difference.
Yeah, it is. I
think that's a big factor to me. So I won't necessarily just feel obligated to someone if I don't see you trying to help yourself. You know,
your obligation has to be earned. That's what it sounds like. Like somebody got to prove to Ed that they're worthy of you.
Oh, I feel obligated to people, but like I say, context is important to me because, like I say, man, I got to see that you.
I guess I was saying what I said because it's foundationally, like foundationally, that's it. You're still going to investigate and get your cues from that.
Yeah,
but foundationally, yes, that's how it go. You know, well for me, and they got some people that don't.
I don't feel obligated no matter what.
I'm about to say they got some.
You could have raised them and they said so.
Yeah,
I'm like, dang,
I didn't see it.
That's sacrifices and like
I seen
people put time and like just a lot in you and like, that's it, really.
Family members and everything, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, it's interesting though because I always kind of say that like people are going to be. I'm going to have a lot of because I have a kind of big families on both sides, and I say people are going to be kind of upset when it comes to wedding invitations because it's like
that's
I don't feel if you haven't came to any event monumental in my life,
this is great. Yep.
I don't feel obligated to invite you to that one because you didn't come to any of the other ones. So why should you come to this one?
Yep. When
I have to pay, because you have to pay per plate per person. So why would I pay for you to come to something if you haven't came to a single graduation?
Yeah.
Anything, no milestone in my life you never ever tried to come to, but now you want to come to the wedding.
Yeah,
and like I said, it's not negative. I just don't feel obligated to invite you because why?
That's interesting that you said that, Ed.
Like, why support me now?
Yep. That is so interesting that you said that.
And it's not like I'm upset or anything, but it's
just like, bro, you ain't give me,
so I don't feel obligated.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. You my family, and I love you, but no.
I wasn't important enough for you to come through. For this, but now you want to be important enough to see this.
Why?
Because they don't want to be left out because they know everybody else going. No. See,
that's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
And like I say, that's contextual. I still love you, and if you need help with something with something else, cool. But no,
not this.
No, you didn't come to anything. And I've on the modest side, it's been a few things you could have came to that I've accomplished, that were kind of like milestones in my life. So
I wasn't always in Dallas.
Yeah. So if you chose to come to, you didn't chose to come to anything when you knew, because it wasn't like it was a secret,
These be announced things.
Yeah. So no, don't come to my wedding.
It's funny that you said that because think about the events that shows people obligations, like graduations, weddings, funerals. Top three. Then you think about like birthdays. There's been a lot of like birthdays. I'm like, dang. Especially when I was back home in Orange. Up here, it's kind of easier because it's probably about like a good 6 people birthdays I'm gonna go to out here. That was just that close to me. Yeah. But back home in Orange, it's kind of like, dang, such and such doing this at their crib. Dang, they came to my stuff. And I just go to show my face. But I be obligated, like you said, because they came to my stuff. Yeah. So let me go show them some love or whatever. It's just funny, like, that's obligation.
But I'm gonna say that is like if somebody just support me in everything I do feel obligated to support them because they support me.
They support me. Yeah.
Sometimes if you constantly pouring positive energy my way, I feel obligated to reciprocate that.
Yeah. No.
Sometimes I do feel obligated to in reciprocation like that. Like if someone's just always doing something or I have anything, they gonna say, well, I'm gonna show up. I may only be here for this time because I gotta do this. But I'm gonna come.
I'm gonna come by, bro. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well now, of course, if you have something, I want to.
Those be the people like at the day after, I'm like, man, such and such came by. He was only there for like 20 minutes, but he came by. Like
he said he was gonna stop by.
Yeah, he did.
But that's like a culmination. Like he always gonna at least
come by or
come up or show
drop something off.
or try to do something to
that, like you said, that right there I can respect. Now that'll make somebody I known for like 3 years, I feel more obligated to them
and that's what I say about that whole time thing, because there's people I've known for 5 years that supported me way more than people I've known for 10. So now since I've known them for 10, I'm more obligated to them, even though they didn't really pour anything to me. They were just hey when I see them. But now I just owe them the world. No, I that's why I say I don't feel obligated by time because
I say it's a factor for me. I ain't gonna say
if anything, I would be more obligated, like I said, based upon like action or like positive stuff or like support. Like I said, I'm more obligated by support. You know,
you got to show me you're there for me.
Well, you don't have to. Like I said, you don't have to be there for me. Like we can just be. Hey, how you doing? You okay? All right, that's beautiful, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Genuine,
and that's okay. But I'm saying when you start talking about obligation, that's a whole nother level, you know, in my opinion. Like that's a pretty strong word, obligated, you know. That's not just, hey, when we see each other, it's always, you know.
It's love.
It's always love. No, that's something different than obligation for me.
So
I hold that in a way higher regard.
So what I'm saying, okay, I said this word earlier. I'm going to bring it back around. So investment. If you invest your support, your time, your positivity, it's got to be some type of investment in the thing that you feel obligated to.
That could be a factor, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because I think that's what we're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I might hold the investment of time to a higher factor than you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What you talking about, the support is what you want invested or positivity, right?
Yeah.
In
like
love.
More stuff, more action than just time.
Yeah.
Because like I say, I can know you and we say hey every time we see each other, but bro, that's 15 years of hey. But I got this guy that's
no.
Hey, if you do this, I'm gonna do this, or just doing stuff. Hey man, I found it just like
see
pouring into me.
See, like that person that this 15 years of hate, that person, that would be the person that I would help their mama get the couch out their house if they just needed it. They saw me at the gas station.
Yeah.
The person that supported me and I only knew them for 3 years and they really supported me, that's who's getting the wedding invitation. 15 years of hate might not get the wedding invitation, but 3 years of support will probably get the wedding invitation.
Some people that might be the same, but for me, I hold that in way higher regard. So
that's good, bro. And that's what it is. The factors are different for different people.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And with this type of thing, it's always, because I didn't want to get into that whole, because it's still, that some of that stuff is tied to like upbringing and psychology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and just like with individual, because some people might say, well, if you're not doing anything for me, then I just don't
look at you like that. Yeah,
I don't value the same.
Yeah, that's like those people that got like 2 friends.
That's why I say, like, it don't have to be transactional. We can just have, whenever we run into each other, we might just have a great exchange and it's positive and I love it. And till I see you again.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
I have no issue with that at all. Because there's a lot of people where it's like, I see them. It's going to always be a great conversation. But like I say, when you start talking about obligation, for me, that just holds way more weight than just casual conversations and stuff. And
that's a good point. I mean, we kind of talked about it a couple episodes way back. But that's a good point. What you're saying, to bring in the fact of like it's okay to keep a relationship where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, the dude or the girl that I see, I don't know, every 2-3 years, but when we talk, we had like a good little 15-minute exchange. It don't get no deeper than that. It's just, what's up? I saw you did this. Oh yeah, I saw you did that.
Yeah.
It ain't gotta go no deeper. You ain't gotta ask me what, so what y'all doing tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't gotta be all that. So
but also when you come to feeling obligated, that's just a higher level. Just the higher level. Like,
dang,
I don't feel obligated to that person. It's not negative to not feel obligated to someone, but
that's a very important quote.
Yeah, it's not negative.
It's not negative to not feel obligated to somebody. Yeah, that's true. Because some people want to be kind. You can be kind to somebody without having to give them your whole,
Yeah.
And shoot, man, I thought that was very interesting that, when you talk about obligations, it's easier to think about people, But when I first said it, you said it like trust. I mean, truth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So not only being obligated to a person, but you talking about being obligated to a concept.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be obligated to truth, you live a life like that. You know, hey, what they say on Twitter, what's for you gonna be for you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, shoot, everything will fall on some side of the wall. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But no, man, that's what I was thinking about, because just with these whole last couple of weeks, you know, a lot of engagement, actions, events that we went to, some together, some in our separate lives. It was just like, dang, like, because you ask yourself, like, man, why am I going to this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you ask yourself that.
I literally wear stuff all the time. I have a social obligation. I feel obligated to go. It's a social obligation.
Yeah, you do say that. You do say that a lot. You do say that
because I feel obligated. It's a social thing, and I feel obligated to go.
And it's funny that obligation does have a negative connotation. That don't mean I'm not looking forward to going to it. It just that it's my obligation.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh man. But you know, balancing that's cool.
Yeah. And this has been episode 29 of the Transferable Experience.
I've been doing bad picking these songs.
And, you know, we came back after a tough one. I mean, after missing a week, and I think we had a pretty good podcast this week. I hope you guys enjoy it. Remember to do all the things on all the things. Before a long trip, please check your oil and your tires.
And your brakes. You know what I'm talking to. Check your... Golly, man. Golly.
That's important.
Golly. My bad. Take us out here. Do all the things, man.
Episode 29, Transferable Experience Podcast.